with AI becoming better and better at building websites and having learned from years and years and years of UX design, the goal for UX for years has been how to reduce friction as much as possible. And so it's learned from all of that. And so now it knows this is the absolute ideal way for a website to be displayed with zero friction. A trend that I imagine is going to start happening is that of almost anti-UX, where people start to bring in more friction to create more human-touched websites, if you will, that feel like a human's made them. And so the goal for the design challenge was essentially to make a website that is anti-design. I gave a reference of a Charlie XCX poster, which looked like complete mixed media with like cut out text and cut out pictures all glued on top of each other, and it looked like a poster from the 90s that someone has a show in their house. It's taking a lot of the learnings that we already have with good UX and then tweaking that where needed to give that touch of humanity.
My idea when creating a little website for these design challenges is typically just being as wacky and as creative as I can be. So I combined the idea of a fruit subscription website with the idea of you being subscribed to your fruits based off of your emotions. I also was heavily inspired by these like hectic, psychedelic, like in your face designs I see in like a Berg in the Bergs website. I love making a little pun, so that will be a heavy topic throughout the whole thing. So this is funky fruit. I love to illustrate, so there are a lot of these little illustrations throughout the little website. So I also tried making it as visually overstimulating as possible. Typically when AI makes a website, it's incredibly structured. So for the purpose of the challenge, I wanted to make the complete opposite of that. Ugly fonts, wacky colors, no color repetition at all. So that was my vibe. Typically CTAs have to be very easy for the user to see. So these are kind of hidden. So it completely goes against the typical structure people follow. And here's the little collage element that I wanted to incorporate to make it a bit more visually overstimulating. You could also see some of my good old puns here making an appearance. Here's an example of how it would function if you are going to choose your fruits based off of your emotions.
So I did a sushi bar and I tried to use elements that are scrolling and very random in sizes, that are offsets and shape, just very weird things that contradict each other. I used a very plain background with little floating things. Everything scrolls in and I tried to get the hand to look like someone is giving you a bite of some sushi. And then like when you move down, you go into the video, and then as soon as you scroll off, the video goes down. And then this is just some of the gallery of the food. Obviously you can click left and right on those, and you can reserve a table. And then this is sort of like a category. It's showing you all the categories of food that they have. The cards are weird placed, weird angles, no consistency, just something random. And then this is the footer. Just bear in mind that we only had like an hour and a half to come up with this thing and design it and put this together. So it was just one page.
Along with anti-design, I went with anti-English language. One of the rules for designing this was not to use AI, but I said it could be used for copy. So I wanted to do a fish and chips shop, so you got even more English. And so then I asked it to create a landing page for me with a menu for a fish and chips shop in Yorkshire. And then it gave me the copy. And then I asked it to make it more northern, which it did. And then I asked it again to make it even more northern to the point where it's almost incomprehensible. Torrekere Place, which is the really nice place, a really good place, and it's the fish and chippo. What I also wanted to do with this is to design something that would essentially be a complete nightmare for a developer to make. So nothing is in straight lines, there's no straightforward divs and boxes. Essentially, going way back, it's almost like designing a website in Photoshop like we used to do, where then everything would need to be cut out and put in tables. And even things like I issued a lot of iconography to try and, again, be as anti-design as I could. So for example, this is the link to the menu, to Scofflist, and give us the Bellmans to contact them. So I took a lot of photos and then etched them and chucked them in, and then stuck them down even with sticky tape to make it feel even more human there. But again, I was really pleased with the copy that came out. just because it is so bizarre. And so here's my menu, and then to the point, even if something's not on the menu anymore, just scribbled it out, which of course we would never do that on a website. And of course, just having some fun with it. So like there's some fancy grilled fish here, and there's none of this faff, which is very English. And then of course, a little bit of a write-up about the fish and chip shop with young Billy and Amos here, who are 17 and 19 respectively. Ironically, in the bottom right, we have the most traditional UI of social icons in the bottom right.
So I played a lot with fonts and color and interesting copy or funny copy. You're not understimulated, tired, uninspired. You just need fish. And that copy or that text leads into the landing page, which reads, "Is life eating you or are you eating fish?" And then you can scroll down to the product items below. I decided to base the whole design around this particular font, and it packs nicely and fills a lot of vertical space. So I chunked the page around that space and used funky, unexpected colors and sort of a little bit nautical. If you think of The Life Aquatic by Wes Anderson, many of these colors feature in that film. And then the style of the imagery also kind of flowed from that color scheme.